So this happened today. I had a session with a couple. Been working with them for about 4 months. They're in their early 40s and have a 3-year-old daughter that they both love very much. As we are looking at their dynamic in conflicts, there's a theme, a very strong theme that keeps emerging. The dance that I see, the pattern that I see is once an issue is brought up, the wife definitely states her point of view and her desire of the outcome. And if he loves her, he will do it. Now, his concern is when it's the other way around, when he asks for help or an accommodation, her general response is, "You're trying to control me. Figure it out for yourself. If you love me, you wouldn't ask." Now, he's a bright guy, but he gets caught in his pain and aloneness when this happens. And so most of the time, he acquiesces. And for her, she feels like she's speaking the truth, her truth, and that he's in agreement. And yet their marriage is in worse and worse shape. There is more and more antagonism and hurt and pain between the two of them, and separateness. They did not start off this way. They started off with a lot in common, with a lot of common goals, a lot of common belief and love in each other. What they're struggling with on a real profound level is being able to see the divine in the other. What I mean by the divine in the other is I am part of spirit, you are part of spirit, we together are spirit. And they struggle, like so many of us struggle around this concept of, are we separate or are we one? Separate or one? That dichotomy is so big, When we come into this world, the veil of separateness is very, very strong and gets reinforced daily. Such is the world of the relative, as opposed to the world of the absolute, where we are all one. But we have to experience the world of the relative of being separate before we can fully appreciate being one. But sometimes it creates pain and stuckness in couples, and that's what's happening with this couple. What we do for another, we do for ourselves. What we fail to do for another, we fail to do for ourselves. That concept is what helps me embrace the understanding of oneness. Since we are all one, what I fail to do for you, I fail to do for myself. If I do something hurtful or spiteful or loving to you, I'm doing something hurtful or spiteful or loving for me. And this relativeness of separateness or oneness unfortunately can really get painful in couples. They did not choose to merge their lives together to be separate entities. They merged their lives together with the hope that they together are going to be creating something greater than either one of them were individually, which is what an us does. So the more they struggle with seeing each other as separate, the more he discounts what he knows in his soul, what feels right to him, and he loses his ability to articulate it. She keeps, again, misunderstanding his struggle with communication as agreement. And when he does speak up, she takes it as he's no longer on her side and you're trying to control me. She goes into real pain with this. This is a real experience for her. He also goes into real pain with this, just that they're in pain alone instead of together. Where the struggle is with this couple is getting to that concept of when a conflict comes up, your feelings and thoughts are just as important as how I feel and think. Not more important. I don't get to trump you, you don't get to trump me. My thoughts and feelings don't matter more than your thoughts and feelings. So if I can take your thoughts, your feelings about an issue as seriously as I take my views on this issue, and if you do the same, if you take my thoughts and my feelings as important as your thoughts and your feelings about this issue, now we're probably going to create an us. We're going to keep talking about this until we come together in a way that makes sense. And sometimes it's the classic compromise. You want a green couch, I want a blue couch. We decide on a tan couch. We both can live with a tan couch. That's a compromise. Ah, you say. But what about where there aren't any compromises? Well, sometimes that's true too. Sometimes there really is not a compromise. But here's the thing. We both have free will to say, I hear how important this is for you. So of course, I'm going to defer to you in this one because I see how important this is and how meaningful it is for you. And I know that when I come to you with something that is also important to me, you will do the same to me. You will share your generosity and love and support with me. It's another way of how compromise works. Compromising that we both always don't get what we want. And yet, when I say to you, I see how important this is for you. Yes, I want to give this for you. I'm also giving it to myself. When I say, no, I'm not going to give that to you, I'm also doing that to myself. And this is where this couple is struggling so hard to really get that concept of we are all one. Or looking at it from just purely a couple's point of view, we're an us, not just a you and a me. We have a you and a me, but that creates an us. But when we can't come together, and instead it is taken as a threat, or an escalation, or a problem, or brings up anger, we lose sight of the divinity in both of us. We lose sight that we are two beings in love. we'll talk more.